Hey friends, welcome back to the Elevated Dose. This is the sixth bonus episode in our January series, and today we're talking about home, not decor, not minimalism, not perfectly labeled pantries or magazine-ready spaces. Home is a system because whether we name it or not, our environment shapes our behavior constantly. And for people already managing work stress, health complexity, or limited capacity, home is either a quiet support system or an invisible drain. There is no in between. So today I want to talk about what an elevated home actually is, why friction matters more than aesthetics, and how reducing environmental drag changes everything else in your life. Most people treat environment as optional, nice to have, something you fix when you have time, something you'll deal with later. But the environment you live in is not passive. It's constantly asking things of you. Where is this? What do I do with that? Why is this here again? What needs attention now? Every unanswered question costs energy. When people say they feel overwhelmed at home, it's rarely because their home is bad. It's because their home is noisy, not loud in sound, but loud in decisions. Friction is anything that makes a simple action harder than it needs to be. Looking for things, clearing surfaces repeatedly, deciding where something goes every time you touch it, managing clutter that doesn't belong anywhere. Friction turns ordinary tasks into cognitive labor, and cognitive labor adds up. Elevated homes are not about having less stuff, they're about having fewer obstacles. This is where people get misled. They think prettier spaces will feel calmer. Sometimes it helps, but often it doesn't last because aesthetics don't address friction. You can have a beautiful home that still drains you. If systems don't exist, beauty becomes maintenance. Elevated homes prioritize function first. Calm comes from ease, not perfection. Our nervous system is constantly scanning our environment. It's asking, is this predictable? Is this manageable? Is this safe? Clutter, unfinished tasks, and visual noise register as unresolved demand. That keeps our nervous system slightly activated, not enough to panic, but enough to fatigue. Reduced friction signals safety. Safety supports regulation. This is not mindset, it's biology. For a long time, and still I sometimes do, treat my home like something separate from my capacity. I handled work, I handled health, I pushed through. And then I wondered why everything felt harder than it needed to be. What I eventually realized was that my home required constant negotiation. Too many decisions, too many piles, too many things without a place. Nothing was catastrophic. It's just heavy. When elevated became my word, home had to be part of it. I'm still working on it. It's not aesthetically elevated, but functionally elevated is the goal. Reduced friction looks like things having a clear place, frequently used items being easy to access, fewer steps between intention and action, systems that match how you actually live. It's not about minimalism, it's about alignment. If you always drop things in the same spot, that spot needs to be supported. Fighting habits creates friction, supporting habits reduces it. Every decision we make costs energy. What to wear, what to cook, where to put things, what needs cleaning. When those decisions stack, our capacity shrinks. An elevated home should reduce decision points, predictable routines, simple systems, clear defaults. That's not boring, it's supportive. We often respond to home stress by cleaning harder, but cleaning doesn't fix the friction. You can clean a space every day and still feel overwhelmed because the issue isn't dirt, it's design. Elevated homes are designed to stay manageable, and I don't mean design in aesthetic terms. I mean everything having a place, a purpose. Environments affect our behavior. When movement equipment is visible, movement happens more often. When nourishing food is accessible, eating supports energy. When workspaces are calm, focus improves. Home quietly reinforces habits or undermines them. This is why elevated lives require elevated environments. Reducing friction doesn't mean overhauling everything, though. Start where the friction is the loudest, the place you avoid, the task you procrastinate, the area that always feels chaotic. Fix one bottleneck. Support one habit. Let relief guide you to the next place. As life gets fuller, capacity becomes more precious. You don't want to spend it on avoidable friction. Elevated homes protect energy so it can be used elsewhere. That's the point. Home affects sleep, sleep affects energy, energy affects work, work affects health. Everything loops. Reduced friction strengthens the entire system. If home feels heavy right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't need a perfect space. You don't need to become more organized. You need fewer obstacles. Elevated homes are not about control or aesthetics. They're about support. And when your environment works with you instead of against you, everything else gets easier.